This is me, Arnold Spirit Jr., but you can just call me Junior. I live on an Indian reserve in Welpinit. I love drawing cartoons because I want to talk to the world. This is Rowdy. He is my best friend and really my only friend. He's a real tough and gets beat up by his dad all the time. This is my father. He's an alcoholic. This is my grandma. She was killed by a drunk driver at a powwow. This here is Eugene. He is my dad's best friend. He died due to alcoholism. I miss a ton of school because of funerals, or I didn't have a ride, or because we were poor and had no money, or because my mom got scared and my dad went out to the bar and he had to be brought back home. One day at school, in geometry class, Mr. P handed out our textbooks. When I got mine, I was so excited until I opened it, because on the inside cover was printed my mom's name. This textbook was like 30 years old. Are you kidding me? Our tribe was so poor that we had to study from the same textbooks our parents used. I whipped my book at Mr. P because I knew I had to get out of here and make something of myself. So I got suspended and decided to head out to Reardon High, an all-white school about 22 miles away from the reserve. Getting to school was a bit of a hassle, and it made for a tough journey, trying to hitchhike or walk 22 miles each and every single day. I felt like I was cut in half, torn between my heritage on the reserve as an Indian or living my white life up at Reardon. But I knew there was hope inside. I made some new friends like Gordy, the whiz kid. And I even found the prettiest girl I've ever seen in my life, Penelope. I even made the Reardon varsity basketball team. I shot buckets like my name was Kelvin Nigeri. I had to deal with a lot to overcome a bunch of obstacles to get where I wanted. My own people from back on the reservation hated me. The guys at Reardon made fun of me because I was Indian, and well, Indians don't belong. I had to hide my financial status and try to get out of conversations about poor, and if somebody asked me if I was poor, I had to come up with a clever way of changing the subject. Sometimes I even had to pass up on the goodies like brownies and cookies because I had no money. I wouldn't eat for hours, and I listened to records on the record player instead of listening to the iPod that everybody had. But I learned skills to make it through the day, and I know I had to do anything possible to survive. All of these white kids and teachers who were so surprised at me when I first arrived here had learned to care about me. Maybe some of them even loved me, and I'd be so suspicious of them. And now I care a lot about a lot of them. I loved a few of them. In the end, I succeeded in achieving my goal. I realized that you can have it all if you just hope. I am Indian, but I belong to much more than that. If it was up to me, and I had to choose between reading The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian or Lord of the Flies, I would definitely select The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian. Although I am not an Indian who lives on a reserve, I can definitely relate to what Junior was going through, as we all feel hopeless at some time or another in our lives. The lesson that we can learn from this novel is to never give up hope, even in the worst of situations. In essence, we can see that Sherman Alexie's novel, The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian, has much more realistic approach and positive message to offer the students of ENG 2D1 than William Golding's novel The Lord of the Flies.